Yo, y'all, how we doing? How we doing? I know, I know. It's not Sunday. It's Tuesday night. Yeah, I was supposed to do this on Sunday night, but I just got caught up in some things. It's final exam week. No excuses though. That's my bad. But we are here on this fine Tuesday night, and I just want to briefly look into some of these pairs. Just give you all some insight on my perspective of basically these four pairs right here that unfortunately that I didn't get a chance to look at them on Sunday. So let me get right into it. So first pair that I, I'm looking at is GJ. This is like I would say my favorite pair in which I trade the most often out of all the pairs I have between gold and GJ, but definitely GJ. So I'm deleting some of the things on here, trying to make this more clear for you guys. But on the daily, honestly, not the best week. Not what excuse me, what I normally like to see on GJ, which I prefer more trending markets like, right here, right here, right here, all right here. You see it. So, but right here, we're kind of in this range from, let me use this tool from like up here to down here. We've been in this range since the 21st of March, so a little over a month. And I'm definitely not a big favor of these ranging markets, but it is what it is. The markets don't make mistakes. The markets give you what it is. They present the data, and it's up to you to adjust and adapt to whatever the market gives to you. And that's simply what it is. That's simply what I'm trying to do here is to exercise my sense of trading and be a little more diverse. Trending markets aren't going to always be here. And sometimes we will get these ranging markets, but it's up to you to learn and acknowledge how to trade in these markets, how to trade in these specific conditions, and, maybe implement a few things into your methodology to help you prosper in these markets. So, first things first is this GJ trade. I did miss this one on Monday night or Sunday night, was it? Yeah, basically Monday. So, right here, within a certain time, I have this area marked at basically 190,500, if you want to call it, to make it a psychological zone. But I noticed that price has bounced between this area multiple times right here. We don't really count this as a break of any sort because as soon as price came down and went below it, the buyers took it right back above it. And if you were to look on a daily, price is basically testing this area. I got this terminology from QBanks. Price is testing this area. It didn't break it, but it tests the area where price came down and came right back up. So don't get that confused as a break of structure. So when we look down on the smaller time frames, let me go on the hourly. This is beautiful. This is like the first sign that I would like to see some type of bullish formation. And before even that bullish candle, notice how the bearish candles kind of alter with time as we have these huge volume filled candles, whereas we come down here, not so big, right? And this one, we basically have a doji before this major bullish engulfing. So those are the key signs that I like to see. Those basically first signs I like to see in order to get into a trade is basically candle analysis. Candle analysis is everything. Price action is everything. And understanding where I was and understanding what price was doing at this specific time, I would have gotten in if I was paying attention. Unfortunately, I wasn't. Mostly, I try to get my entries on the 5, 15 minute. I really like this formation up here, where I noticed how price always tries to give this sort of false false reversal, kind of right here. Price kind of likes to tease us, tease you a little bit, like, oh, we about to, I'm about to, I'm about to. No, comes back down, and then it gives you another chance. I notice this commonly all the time. Price loves to give you second chances. So we see this first, I guess, sign of, oh, we might go back up. No, went back down. Then this is our real chance. We have this nice bullish engulfing with full volume on this candle, and essentially closing above all of this activity. That would have been the optimal area to enter. Now, looking at this overall trade, and this would definitely, I'm not even going to lie, this is probably going to be a difficult one to hold. If you did hold all the way up here, I chose to set this one as my target based on the psychological zone 192 extended. And I noticed that price also respected this area too. I like to pinpoint the areas that price makes immediate reactions to, where price came up here. We have a drop here. We have areas of support, resistance, price respecting it multiple times. So I use this area as a, we call it a key level. So I use that as my target, and price eventually hit there. But notice the fluctuation where price started coming up. It looked good, but then price gives a pullback. Most people would not be able to hold that. And not only one pullback, but we had another major pullback here as price almost hit our TP the this time. So definitely, definitely have to be wired in a psychological way to hold a trade like this. But hey, ultimately, those who hold make the most money. I would say that. So if you would have held, that would have been clean. I should have held this one, or I didn't even get in the trade. So I didn't even get in the trade. What my mistake was, I mean, basically just not monitoring it, not looking. I knew where price was, but I didn't look closely into it, and that was a big mistake on my end, where I could have capitalized on this one big time. Making a 1 to almost 1 to 3. I mean, 1 to 3.5 almost. So that would have been clean. EJ, a lot of bullish activity going on. I love to see it. Where before price was, it was a little choppy, coming in at it's almost like 165, almost. But I put my area right here. Notice the rejections. Notice the rejections. Test it. Remember what I said? Test it. Price didn't fully break. Went above. Went right back down. Test it. All this is tested, and we finally get a clean break above. So price is obviously bullish based on what we're seeing currently. So if I were to get into an entry, if I were to get into an entry, I would wait for a pullback of some sort. Always remember the fundamentals, guys. The fundamentals. Buy low, sell high. We do not buy when price is high. We have to wait for a form of pullback. And for me, I would personally like to see price pull back to this 165, call it 350 zone, and see if price continues to go bullish from that point. But based on what we're seeing, we can kind of scale down to the 15-minute and identify price action at this current point. You could, so first of all, we have this higher low. This is obvious. No. Let me get right. I don't like that either, but you know what? We're just gonna stay with it. We have this higher low right here, and price continuing on from there, breaking this sense of structure right here. Let me use the black. It's the black. Price broke above, and not too much to really say here. Let me go to the 15-minute. Sometimes with the lower time frames, I have a lot of noise or a lot of activity that's not really too important at that certain time. So I try to go to the higher time frame, kind of minimize all of that activity and look at things from a more clear perspective. So right here, like I mentioned, we have a higher low. nice bullish candle. But price right now, we are in Asian session. So what what we can really do is just wait. So wait for New York. Personally, like I mentioned, I would like to see a pullback all the way down here, which I think will definitely happen. Notice how we have a fair value gap right here, exactly at this point that I mentioned. So that's another thing that I'm looking at. Often with my fair value gaps, I look at try to target the point 0.5, 0.50 on the Fibonacci. I noticed that price likes to come down and hit this point and then start to make its way to that specific direction. But that's that with EJ. Basically just waiting for that pullback of some sort to happen. With gold, gold has been killing me this week. So for the past few weeks, or yeah, let me say that past few weeks, been bullish activity, bullish for the most part. But this, like I mentioned, I do not like these ranging non-directional markets where price came up here and just pretty much just staying within this point right here, and the price broke all of these former higher lows, and now we have bearish activity, and it pretty much threw me off because I was so adjusted, I was so concentrated on the buys, but now we have selling activity. Price coming down. I thought price was going to come up to this point here based on these buys. Price continue to go down to the lower time frame. I mean to the downside, and this is where we are currently. So we have a pullback back to this point here. What can I call it? What can I call it? 2325, 800. I'm gonna say 800, something like that. But we have that, and right before I record this video, I did these small markups right here, where I noticed that price created a double top right here. Double top, guys. Trade what you see. That's the first sign I see for continuing this bearish activity. First of all, we have this double top. That's specifically at this point as well that I mentioned earlier. And to kind of highlight why I chose this area, we have a lot of rejections from this point, from here, 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 even here, and we're currently seeing one right now. And test it, test it, not a break, not a break. So test it. I looked at this former higher low, price broke it right here, and let me not say fully break. Let me not say break because this could very well be a tested candle where price can, come back up. But I do still see price continuing to go to the downside from here, based on what I'm seeing right now. But no trades as of right now. I would like to wait for the New York session and see what price does from there, see where the volumes takes us, and from there continue on to the New York session. But based on where we are right now, I mean, there's no activity, no volume going on right now. So not much to really say where we are right now. But this is pretty much a waiting game for most of these pairs. And for AU, I was looking at this not too long ago, but still bullish as hell. Bullish, man. Y'all see this? That's AU we talking about. That's AU we talking about. This is probably the best pair that I've looked at so far this week. Best pair I looked at so far. Well, we started off seeing this double top on the 4 hour, and we're seeing some bullish activity. So my my mindset at this certain time, this was back on Sunday. So I had this point marked up as an area of former support, now resistance, where price rejected and went to the downside, creating that double bottom that I mentioned. Price then came back up to come back to that I guess I'd call it support now, or former support now resistance. Price came back up to that area of resistance, and where I was at that certain point was either wait for a break, so for price to break and go to the upside, or price to reject it again, forming a double top and continuing to the downside and targeting these points right here. But what price did was break above, give us a pullback, and continue to the upside. And it's a little more clear on the smaller time frames, and just kind of see what is going on here. So, like we see right here, we have these former forms of rejections to the downside. So we see price going to the upside. We see these bullish candles, and this was the pullback that was going on. And this happened during London session. Then coming into New York, that's where we had all this activity going on. Price hit this TP that I had. Keep in mind, I didn't get into this trade. I need to get right, guys. I know. I need to get right. But price hit it and continued to the upside, looking very nice. I don't know what induced all of this to happen, but um, yo, what? Yeah, I mean, it's crazy, huh? CPI, yeah, man. But that's that. And I created this TP based on this previous lower high I used with my fib. This is considered a lower high for me because it reached this point 382 point. If it's below that, I don't consider it a lower high. But reached that point, and that's where I formed this TP point. Price hit it, continued on from there. What I can see from here on out now is a pullback here, and see if price will continue to pull back even more or continue to the bullish side from there. But y'all, that's pretty much what I have for the week. Pretty much what I'm looking at. GU, I'm just waiting for a pullback to here. I've been waiting for this the past week. So that's it, guys. That's it. So yeah, appreciate y'all for tuning in. Apologies, you can't see my face, man. I want y'all to see me, but my stuff messing up, camera messing up. So it is what it is. We got this video done. I'm gonna edit this and post this up as soon as I can. So yeah, appreciate y'all.